Hi guys, going live again, and this time I'm going to show you how to make liquid laundry soap from home. Really super easy to do. The last time I bought everything it was about $8, so depending on where prices are at your home or whatever could vary. And so what I've done is I've taken, these are the items that you're going to want to buy for your laundry soap, and the things in the box are actually going to last a long time. I've had those for a couple of years, and so the Fels Naphtha soap is a big one. You can get it in different colors. This is actually going to basically make what color your laundry soap is because of the color of the bar. Sometimes they're pink, sometimes they're blue, sometimes they're yellow like this one was. This one is the one I usually find. What I've got on the stove right here is just a pot of water that I'm boiling because I'm going to be boiling everything to render it down to a liquid state because it's pretty much just powder and soap. So super easy, and these are really good stain fighters. So of course your Fels Naphtha. You can do 2 bars of this if you have like really bad water and things don't want to wash. This, just one of them seems to work well for me. Borax, the 20 Mule team, is another one. This is a big one. It's a good, what do they call it? Just like a stain booster, I guess. And I'm getting it all over me again. It's like laundry mess. So yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do. It looks like cleaning and everything, but I like to use it in my laundry boost. Weird thing about this is it does get hot when it gets wet, which is weird. I noticed like when I was getting it wet one day. Anyway, and this one I just add personally because I love Biz. It's another stain fighter, stain booster, and it's really color fast, which is awesome, and I love that. And so I like the bigger box. You can get, I think at Walmart they had it. I've seen it at Kroger with the skinnier boxes. For me, I like to get more bang for your buck. 80 ounces, 5 pounds, a lot of soap in this. And so then what I did, I'll go grab that. I went ahead and pre-measured just so I'm not taking forever measuring. But I ground up the soap with my KitchenAid. I just have the little grinding attachment so you can see just as fine as you can grind it. And then I measured 2 cups each of the powdered laundry soap. And so I'm going to pour those in. And it kind of makes a little dusty mess there. And I just have it on kind of a medium heat. And I'm going to stir it to make sure that it's all incorporating. And I think a wooden spoon is fine. You can use metal or whatever you want. I don't think it's not like anything written in stone saying you have to do it a certain way. So, but what I'll do is I'll just kind of gently, like, kind of mash the soap up a little. I mean, you can wait. It just takes time, but I just like to get it moving along. It kind of makes a gel once everything's all put together, I guess you could say, all, I can't think of the word, dissolved. There's the word I'm looking for. So once it's all dissolved, because right now it's just like the soap is kind of a meh. Looks like, kind of like ramen noodles right now, which is pretty gross. But I will just kind of keep mashing this up. And it's just, like I said, it slowly dissolves. It's been about 6 months since I did it, my last batch of soap. But I usually keep them in a 5-gallon bucket. It doesn't matter where you go. I liked this one because it has a squishy handle, and it's just nicer to pick up whenever I need to move it. There's a little bit of soap left at the bottom of this, so I can show you what it looks like. And the soap does separate, which is weird after a while, so you have to kind of stir it now and again. But maybe I'll put it in something. I don't want it to pour down me or down anything. So, where did I put my... I'm trying to think where I put my... Maybe a smaller one. I'll put it in this. Back in this thing. And... There's a little dog hair in here too, so sorry. It's kind of gross. But it kind of, you can see it. This one, it's just a light yellowish cream colored or whatever, but it's thicker. Let's see if I can even grab some of the chunks. But it kind of has chunks, like I said, that you just kind of want to mix and mash up now and again when you're getting ready to use your soap. And so, just mix this up, and got flies on me here. Gotta love those dang flies. Not really. So, just keep mixing that. And that's really hot. Hot water. So yeah, that's what it looks like once it's mixed. So, I don't have an emulsifier for this to keep it from separating. I don't like the thought of adding things to my laundry other than soap. Because if you look at like your Tide powder soap, there's actually a ton of clay in it just for fillers. And so if you ever wonder how come your whites are turning out gray, yeah, usually powdered soaps are really bad for that because of, so you want to kind of look at what are the fillers in your soap that you're going to be using. Maybe you have something that you want to add. But the whole purpose to doing this, of course, is saving some cash, because really we don't need to be paying 20 bucks for a freaking couple gallons of laundry soap, or well, a gallon. I think some of them now. It's just, prices are ridiculous. It's absolutely stupid that we should not be paying that much for stuff like that. So like I said, under 10 bucks, around 10 bucks somewhere, you're going to have a good laundry soap that's really strong. And I like to have an extra bar of that Fels Naphtha around on occasion, just because maybe you've got a stain that's a little stubborn that you want to get out. You can rub that in the stain, just like scrub it in, kind of damp and everything, and it'll help. So it's starting to dissolve, starting to look kind of oozy a little bit, which is good. So, and I just don't want to like whisk it, because we know what happens with soap and water, and you'll blow bubbles. So I try to do this slow enough that I'm not making foam. But, you know, we want to make soap. I guess the soap's already made, we're just incorporating it. So, but it is really good. I've noticed that it really works well, especially if you have like a high efficiency washer or what have you. If you notice your washer isn't cleaning your clothes, you know, maybe you get that looked at. I know mine sometimes gets on the fritz. And you can always run a really hot load with like a gallon of vinegar in it with no clothes, or maybe a towel or two to offset if your washing machine's being a twerp. That'll help get some of the hard water crap out. But I would probably do a deep water soak first, put in that gallon of vinegar and just let it sit for a while, a couple hours, maybe even overnight, and then run it so that all that build up, the calcium will come out, the oils, different stuff. And just do it on as hot of water as you can when you're getting that out. And you might have to run another load to rinse that out and everything. So, I mean, there's different ways you can look in the internet. So, anyway, it's getting closer. So what I'm going to do while that continues to cook down, I'm going to fill up my bucket about halfway with hot water. Or actually, no. Maybe I'll just do warm, because I want it to cool down faster. And so, I'll just put the soap back in that I pulled out to show you guys. And let's fill it up. All that lovely stuff. I'm making bubbles. Check that really quick. Just don't want it to burn on the bottom of my pan and stick. Keep it nice and clean. Still just a little bit of So it's usually pretty quick, as long as you, I mean, the finer you can grind it, of course, the quicker it'll go, it'll dissolve. I mean, sheesh, if you can get it to a powder, by all means, do it. But the soap itself is kind of soft, so, I mean, unless you dehydrate it further, I don't know if it's going to powder. But I guess whatever moves you and stuff, so just a little bit. Still, yeah, but this has actually saved us quite a bit of money doing this, because for a family of 5, about 6 months, I think, sometimes 8, depending on how much washing we're doing. And for a super load, I just do about 1/4 cup. For a small load, I'll just do about half of that, or just a touch of it. Doesn't take a lot. I mean, it's really concentrated. Even though it's like 5 gallons of water and that little bit, it's still pretty darn concentrated. So, but yeah, $10 for about 6 months. That's really not bad. I think I kind of like those savings. So, be interesting if you guys have any ideas on time saving, money saving. You know, what are you doing? It's always great to share with everybody what you're doing. I like to hear from everybody just because I think we're all trying to save a buck or two and use things that are actually going to work and not just some crappy product that, because, you know, either you could do cheap, you can do something that is really high quality, or something that is really nice. But I don't think you can get all of that with cheap. I think you kind of have to pay a little bit more unless you know some of the tricks of the trade. So anyway, just rambling now, I guess. Waiting on the little soapies to go. Oh, I got a couple chunks still that, like, because I mean it's hard to grind everything, so you still get these bigger pieces. This one actually had a couple extra chunks on it, so we got bonus soap. I guess if a chunk or two is left, it's not too bad. I mean, I've never found chunks of soap in my clothing, and it's like a stain fighting bar anyway, so I guess if a chunk gets left in, maybe it'll just help to clean it up better, who knows. And so, yeah, looks like kind of has like a foam on top, so just finding little pieces. You can kind of see it almost looks like little pieces of broken up rice now. So I'm just waiting for it to dissolve just a little bit more. I don't want it to come to a rolling boil though, because then the pot starts blowing bubbles. And that's kind of counterproductive when you're trying to make soap. You don't want to, you know, have like a giant thing of bubbles everywhere. So, yeah. Alright, we are getting so very close. If there's any other things that you guys want to have me show you, just tell me, because this was another friend had mentioned that they thought it was cool. We just happened to be talking about that I needed to make some more soap, and it's just like, wait, you make your own soap? Like, sort of. So this is how I do it. But yeah, anything that'll save a buck, man, it's a way to go. And it's weird because it like feels totally liquid right now, but when it finally gets all the way cooled, it's like that texture I showed you, just kind of not really as thick as flan, but a little bit more consistency than some types of pudding, I guess, or custard. But whenever you use it, you'll notice like you'll get these pools of water, and that's why I say just kind of mix it up. A lot of times I just use my arm. I'll just stick my arm in really quick and give it a whirl, break it up. You could also wait until once it's cool and it's gel set, and like the whole thing is just like this. It looks like it's just a big thing of gel in your bucket. Then I got a hair in my stuff. Then that's when you'd want to mix it up again, just to kind of make sure, because it just separates. So just haven't seen any emulsifiers for this stuff that just is gonna work in a conducive way without all the extra garbage. So just keep mixing and saving money, right? It's worth it. It's worth the mix. There's still that one piece. Maybe I'll just kind of, it's like making fudge, trying to get all the chocolate chips to melt in time, because you just want that goodness right now. It's alright, we'll get it. So yeah, little bits of there. Oh, so yeah, that's the borax that I was telling you about, how it kind of chunks up. It gets hot as well, but it, interesting, some of it's still kind of like, it feels like wet sand. Let's see if I got more. Yeah, so that's the white pieces that we're seeing then. That's the borax. I know Biz usually dissolves pretty quick. It's just that borax. I know it's like a natural thing, but it is toxic, so be very careful. I've heard of some people saying, yeah, you can use it, or when we had scabies and we bathed in it, I got really, really sick. So yeah, I don't think it's a wise thing to really be bathing in or eating borax, because it's really, really highly toxic. And yeah, don't want to go there again. Alright. Oh, so close. So close. So it really doesn't take a lot of time. It's pretty quick to make your soap, which is nice. I know we're all on a time crunch these days. You got a few minutes to make some dinner or do this or that, you know. Just do this while you're doing that as well. That could be something you could do. You can get the kiddos helping you. You know, lots of ways to construct your soap building team. Or you can go solo. Keep on mixing, keep on mixing. Stuff there. Mixed up. Just a little bit. I'm going to turn it down because it's wanting to boil on me. Keep it on a low simmer there. It still has a lot of those little borax chunks. So maybe I need to let it set a little bit longer. But yeah, that's pretty much the idea. Just go until it's all totally dissolved. It might take 10 or 15 minutes depending on how hard or soft your water is. I have added like a little spray and wash or shout to the mix. Not necessary. Just, you know, I guess go by your discretion. What do you want to add? What do you want to have in it? It's pretty stain fighting as it is. So anyway, I'll put the recipe up in the information area, and good luck. You guys have fun with your soap. Peace out.